Someone else has gotten laid off around the holidays. I just got laid off today.
I'm one of the over 300,000 Black women who've been let go from the workforce. I am now a statistic.
Every December, companies smile in your face while secretly preparing your layoff letter. If you scroll, but let me show you why it happens, what they don't tell employees, and why so many people are losing their jobs right now. Before we get into these TikTok videos, I want you to watch this with two minds. Stay with me. First, as a person who understands how job loss feels, and second, from the company's perspective, because layoffs during the holidays might actually be heartless. However, it is always strategic and not emotional from the company's point of views.
So I just got off a Teams call at work. I got a meeting invite this morning called Team Update. There was about 15 people on the call. Our VP just terminated our positions. I'm feeling really upset about it. In tech right now, a lot of layoffs are happening. Who knows, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. I like my job, I enjoyed my job, but I didn't love it as much as I used to. And I know that you're not supposed to always love your job. A job is a job. A job is to make money so that you can provide for your family. And I was very fortunate to have that job and to work with all the people there and learn all the things, level up my abilities. Thursday, I didn't think today was gonna be like this.
I am posting this video hoping that it will help somebody and not feeling alone, and hoping that in the very near future I can look back at this and see that this was just a stepping stone. It's technically after 12. I'm on the East Coast, so it's technically Friday, December 5th. But yesterday I worked from about 7 a.m. my normal time to about 11:30 or noon, and then I got a random phone call or a Teams call from my bosses, or from my manager's boss's boss, if that makes sense, who I very seldomly have dealt with over the 2.5 years at this company. It was her and someone from HR. It was a very brief call, probably less than 10 minutes, but they let me know they were doing some restructuring, whatever that means, and that they would be laying me off. I was completely blindsided and shocked, especially because I work in finance, so I thought of all the departments, or I thought that with all the teams that finance would be the most secure. I also thought my position was secure because my reviews have always been exemplary. Within the last month or so, I think I just got a raise, and there are at least 4 people on my team that have less seniority than me. So I never thought it would be me to be laid off, but it was. I cried on and off most of the day yesterday. I don't have another job. I will be looking for another job. I really don't know where to start, really. I just can't understand this happening to me. I have a friend that works in HR, not for my company, but for a completely different company in another state. But she's privy to a lot of things that happens within HR and how things work. And she told me that usually with these things, managers, or like your direct supervisor, has input in saying who should go. And if that's so, I'm even more disappointed because my manager and my manager's manager, we were on good terms.
I'm one of the over 300,000 Black women who've been let go from the workforce. I am now a statistic. And it hurts. It hurts to know that after all the degrees, I have 2, the experience, the dedication, the good work, none of it made me safe. I've been spending my life savings just to survive, paying bills late, stretching groceries, trying to maintain the life I had before this. But it's draining, it's humiliating, and most of all, it's lonely. People always talk about how the workforce treats you like you're replaceable, but to truly experience it, that's a whole different level of pain. To give so much of yourself, your time, and energy, just to be tossed away like you're nothing, it eats at you. It eats at you until you start to question if you ever really mattered in the first place. In my mental health, it's been rough. Not having stability, not knowing what's next. It messes with your head. I wake up anxious. I go to bed overthinking. Some days I can't even focus, and other days I feel numb. It feels like I'm watching my life slowly fall apart in slow motion. You already know, this is not the economy you want to be jobless in. Prices are sky high, rent keeps climbing, grocery costs are double what they used to, and the jobs that are out there, half of them pay less than what it costs just to survive. It's like the system is designed to break you, right? And for Black women, it's even worse. We're being laid off at higher rates than anyone else after being told for years that we had to work twice as hard just to be seen. It's like no matter what we build, we're always the first on the chopping block. And somehow we're still expected to smile, pray, and stay strong. But I'm tired. I'm fucking angry. And I'm done pretending that I'm okay. So yeah, I'm one of them. One of the over 300,000 Black women that have been laid off.
Someone else has gotten laid off around the holidays. I just got laid off today. Here's what I am taking from this. We will be okay. The silver lining is we will have the next few weeks to recharge. I'm going to put everything I have into doing projects around the house that I've been putting off for months. I know that's not your fault. If you got laid off, all you had to do was some kind of budgeting issue. Shouldn't be a reflection on you. Don't be hard on yourself. I say this because I'm trying to remind myself of the same thing. This is my first time getting laid off. Who knows? Maybe we will find something else in between that time that we're incredibly passionate about, and that ends up being our new job.
I know watching some of these videos is actually heartbreaking. You can literally feel the shock in their voices. But here is where it actually gets complicated. And honestly, this is unfair. Companies make these layoffs during the holidays for three major reasons. From my research, one, the year-end financial reporting. They want to enter the next year, which is January, actually looking profitable. Cutting payroll makes the book look cleaner, especially for investors or for when they need to borrow more money to be able to fund their businesses or their corporate. Secondly, new budget cycle. A lot of companies' fiscal year and date ends at the end of the year, which is actually December 31st. So they want to try to create a new budget cycle that starts January 1st. This means that the cost of layoffs actually eats every year's budget instead of the next upcoming budget. I hope this is very clear. It actually protects their projections for the new year. Thirdly, they already know the numbers months in advance. They know the number of people they want to lay off. They know who actually they want to lay off. People think layoffs happen suddenly, but no. Leaderships often knows by September or October. They just wait for the HR, legals, and finance to finalize everything. Here is actually the part that they will never say out loud. Companies say layoffs are nothing personal, but the timing at which they do these layoffs are always the time that actually eats people's personal lives the hardest. Because of holidays, this is the gift giving time. People's mental health, kids, they need to pay for childcare, rent, mortgages, everything gets hit. And the truth is, humans are not spreadsheets. You can't just say because of your numbers or your projections you want to lay people off. You have to think about their emotional and financial impacts too. It takes months after December for people to come back into coping mechanism in order for them to start, looking for another job, especially if they're not in the medical line. Because if you're a nurse or you're a CNA or you're a radiologist, a pharmacy, it is easier to get a job. If you have been laid off, my dear, I know it's not easy. You have to stay strong, start planning on how to get another job. You have to cry. If you have to cry, it's fine. It's part of the coping mechanism. So if you have actually been laid off or you know someone who has been, comment below. I want to, listen to you people's survival stories and how you were able to overcome being laid off.
This is the list of companies that are set to do layoffs, mass layoffs in the month of December. Now, if you remember, I did a video on this in November and it had great engagement. So it's around that time, the month of December. So companies have to, by law, if you remember, we talked about this, give at least a 60-day notice according to the WARN Act or WARN notice if they are going to do mass layoffs of 10 or more employees. There's ways they can get around it and different things of that nature, which we're going to talk about in a second. So why does it matter, right? According to Newsweek, this article, a lot of companies are hit with, overhiring due to artificial intelligence and now are scaling back because AI can pretty much do the job now. And then on the other hand, some of the companies that you're going to see on this list are in the food and beverage industry, the hospitality industry, so restaurants, and people just are not going out and spending money like that anymore because people just don't have money. It's a tough time, and because it's rough, it's tough out there. So let's look at the list without further ado, and it is right here.
Subscribe to the Candid Lens if you want more videos like this mixed with real stories. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.